What did you think about yesterday? I felt like it was a lot of information. Yet I also feel like people see. Let me show you something. In the chat room today, Wilbert wrote something that was very interesting. He said, after watching day 24, I just realized something. At this point, I think we can evolve the Zettelcast into something bigger. An idea orgy at the permanent note stage. Method. We will add our own permanent notes in the shared permanent note page with everyone in the graph, and we'll connect our permanent notes to others' permanent notes. And instead of a conversation with yourself, you'll be having it with other people. It could be the difference between a group Zettelkasten and a personal Zettelkasten. There'll be two formidable dialogue partners instead of one. The personal, the present goal of this book club, and the communal, potential goal of future Rome book clubs. And if I could add anything, it would be, let's just open this. I commented, well, if I had to come up with the definition of networked thought, this is pretty damn close. And of all the things to happen, you had a courageous soul who I adore because he said, fuck you and your rules. And if you look on the Daily Notes page, this one's mine. What is this? I love it. Let's open it up. Well, looky here. Looks like our friend Rodrigo Pinto created a permanent note following the structure. And it looks pretty damn good. And what's interesting is that with the source material here, I can follow how he came to his permanent note. I mean, this is fantastic. You see the first pass, you see the second pass, you see the third pass summary, you see the fourth pass literature notes, and then you see the fifth pass, the actual literature note summary. I'm sure he opened up the permanent notes in the sidebar and he found where it would fit best and he placed it here. And he added the relevant notes as well. And so if I click this, let me move this over a little bit. If I click this, it shows where it needs to show. This is very interesting. There's a part of me that's just like, let go. Let him do it. And I think about it and I'm like, that's absolutely right. I had 42 days planned and there's a part of me that's like, well, everyone gets it. The mechanics of it is not difficult. That's it. That's all it is. It's a simple, lightweight structure. What if we spent the remaining days building out a group Zettelkasten? And throughout the process, I'll be sort of pruning or making sure that everything fits right. But with the amount of people making permanent notes, we could really hit a critical mass very fast. And I think that moment, when you get to that critical mass, is the most powerful thing about a Zettelkasten. It's not the first 5 notes. It's not the first 10 notes. It's probably around 50 notes before you get this critical mass where you don't know where everything is. And when that happens, you get this earth-shattering aha that is what keeps me going. It's what wakes me up early. It's what keeps me up late at night. Because I know that more people need to feel that, need to see that, need to experience that. And I think that's what we need to do. Yes, I really think that's what we need to do. Let me just take a look at what Rodrigo did here. Let me go and close this for now. I'm going to go ahead and, I just want to collapse this real quick. And okay, let's take a look here. I'm going to open this in the sidebar so I know what he's talking about. Okay, so this is what I would recommend. Instead of, let's just take a look at his tag here. Okay, so obviously this tag is, it's only pinning the actual page itself. What I want to do is I want to find the actual block. And okay, let's just take a look here. Learning requires effort. Lumen always never read a twist. Okay, so it's probably, I'm pretty sure it can't be the whole thing, right? I mean, I would much rather have that one paragraph so it's easier to elaborate on. When it's too much text, it's hard to like, okay, so it might be this one right here. Yes. Elaboration. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Let me go to my settings here. So I do have admin access here. I'm gonna go ahead and edit the block. I'm gonna copy this block reference and I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna leave that. So you see these brackets right here. I'm gonna close that out. I'm gonna paste the block reference to this block inside of here. And if I hit escape twice, you see now, let me go up here. I'm gonna close this. And now if I shift click on this, it's just the block. That's what you wanna do because you wanna be very specific. Again, you can also put a URL here, but you can also do the block reference. So this is great. Let's just go back here, look at his first pass. Perfect. Deliberate practice. Again, it's showing how he got to this idea. I'm just gonna go and expand everything. This is gold. This is great right here. I love all of this. Again, I see how he got to this idea. You know, I see how he abstracted all this. Love it. This is sort of like relating to it. Maybe, you know, you could probably go in depth a little bit more just so everyone else can follow along. To learn, we need to elaborate. Perfect. I'm going to close that off. Literature notes. Most likely it's coming from here. Boom, boom. Perfect. He's saying it in his own words. I mean, there is a lot of crossover between these two. It's fine. I can follow where it's coming from. I'm going to go and close this. I'm going to open up the permanent notes. And now let's take a look at the placement here. To learn requires effort. The most successful learning habit is elaboration. So I think a structure, and obviously if you look at the bullet points here, structure and elaboration. And then the next thread of conversation is structure and pursuit and structure and working environment. Structure, elaboration. Elaboration on the structure. Structure has been the elaboration of structure, right? I see a connection there. Let's just see if it sounds right. A system that provides a simplified chunking of complex concepts gives users a structure that they can depend on, developing trust and habit. To learn requires effort. The most successful learning habit is elaboration. It makes sense. I mean, I see the thematic connection. Now, does it have to be this perfect one-to-one, like perfectly nested? No, because we're not looking for completeness. We're looking for connections, and we want to build out our ideas and thoughts. And so when I think about structure and to elaborate on structure is one piece, and then the elaboration of what structure is, and it's saying the most successful learning habit is elaboration. It works. I mean, is it my favorite position? Not really. I actually would have preferred if he went in here and he started a new permanent note thread or top level parent block, and I would have called this learn. That's what I would have done, and I would have just copied that over because what he's stating here is it's a broad stroke. You know, when I think of structure, it's in it already. And structure pursuit, structure working environment, structure elaboration, it fits, but is it the best fit? And I have a feeling it's because Rodrigo just wasn't comfortable with creating a branch. But I'm saying if it doesn't fit anywhere, or if you want to learn more about something, then feel free to create another parent level branch. I kind of want to bring it down. I'm going to do it. Sorry. And I'm going to change elaboration to learn. Learning, maybe. Yeah, learning. And the reason I'm doing this is because now what it's done is I want to know more about learning, right? And if I want to know more about learning, then it has to be this, okay, because it could have lived in elaboration. It could have lived underneath structure. But I feel like it why does it fit better in a parent level block? Because it fits better there. Why? Elaboration of structure feels like a weaker link than learning in a new parent level block. The beauty is this. You see these relevant notes? Pursuit and structure. Now that this is, so if I close this, right? This is a parent level block. But if because it's a completely different, because they're sibling blocks, they're no longer explicitly sort of connected. They don't have a parent block. They're not, the thread of conversation with learning is going to start branching out, right? You're going to have branches here. And more branches, right? And because this is the top level parent block, now if you bring over structure like he did, I can, even though there is a connection to structure, I feel like there's a stronger connection having it as learning as a new parent level block, but I can connect structure to this through the inline block references. And even pursuit. Now the reason that it's okay doing both of these and it doesn't seem redundant is that if I want to stumble upon this later, I want to make sure that I leave as many breadcrumbs as I can. And if I'm making this new permanent node and it's, let me change this too, by the way. I'm going to change this to learning. If I'm going to leave as many breadcrumbs as I can, then I can bring these all over, and the beauty of it is that it's inside the block, so it's all hidden, if that makes sense. It's all hidden away. But when it's there, so I can add as many as I want, and I mean, I have like 20 of them on some permanent nodes, because it's just so relevant. So think about this. Pursuit, learning. The pursuit of learning. That fits really well. If I'm stumbling upon pursuit and I see the word learning connected to it, I'm going to click on this and I want to know more after I've long forgotten about it, right? And then structure as well. Let's just take a look at structure. Learning structure. I mean, that fits too. I mean, is it we got rid of elaboration, right? That was the index that Rodrigo was using. But learning structure, learning, the structure of learning, right? It fits. So this is what I'm talking about, like determining and deciding on where it fits best, and all the places that it doesn't fit as well, just link it through drag Alt or Option holding that and dragging it underneath or dragging it inside the permanent node. Now, obviously, working environment, I mean, it could fit, but I'm just gonna keep it out. Does that make sense? And I feel like what happens as we start building this out, I'm just really blown away, because I really feel like if we can build this out together, I'm just gonna, this is what I think I want to do. It's like a personal trainer. You know, I'm just gonna watch your form as everyone starts building it up. I'm just gonna watch your form, and every day I'm gonna go through the permanent notes and sort of move things around. And that's the best way to do it. And I think that's what I want to do. Yes. So the floodgates are open. It's really what I'm saying. The floodgates are open, and all those fleeting notes that you've been accumulating over the past 48 hours, let's start processing them. Okay? Let's start processing them into permanent notes. Take your time. Take your time. And listen, if I highlight it during, tomorrow, it just means that we're learning. Okay? That's what we're doing. We're learning. Feel free to learn. I would much rather make mistakes and learn than not make mistakes at all. If that makes sense. Wow. That's what I want to do. Let's do that. If you don't feel comfortable yet, go watch yesterday's video. Again, I've watched it like 3 times already. Just making sure that everything is in there. And it is. I mean, a little bit more sort of ideas about how to connect relevant notes, and even looking at Rodrigo's work, it's like, how do you know where it fits best? Like, those are the things where it's, how do you explain that without just showing it to you as it comes up? And yeah,